Recycling containers have become commonplace on streets and in homes. Millions of pounds of material has been removed from trash bins and put to better use. The next step in recycling is to remove food scraps from garbage cans and disposals and put them to more productive use. Gardeners show us recycling foods is not only beneficial, but easier than we may think.
I've been doing backyard composting for probably about 20 years now, mostly including just yard waste and leaves and grass clippings, but I've really kind of changed the method and I've started including food scraps. And again, I collect things like coffee grinds. Those are great to compost. We had asparagus last night and cut the ends down. Those went in my compost bin. The food scrap balance out the grass and your leaves, and it's a nice complement to what you're already doing. I mean, it's easily to do. We have a grinder in our sink. I'm amazed at how little we use it anymore.
In our house we have a food pail, a plastic pail that as we are cooking or preparing food we put the vegetables they're either like such as the apple cores or the peels, as well as the breads, grains, those types of items. We put them in a food pail which we have under the sink, and generally every other day or so that then is brought out to the compost bin. I'd say approximately maybe 20 pounds on average a week, so 10 to 20 pounds of food waste that we do bring and put into our compost bin on a weekly basis. And it is good to possibly mix it with some already finished compost or a little bit of soil, just to make sure there's a bacterial source there that with the food waste initially, and over time that the bacteria or the microbes within the food waste begins breaking it down, and over a period of time through the decomposition process it turns into a mulch or a compost that is usable as a soil amendment.
Composting is simply a decomposition process that is a natural to organic materials. And food scraps can help blend in with the other materials like your grass and your leaves, other trimmings from your yard, and speed up that process to create a finished compost in about 6 to 8 weeks.
Well, the Earth Machine compost bin is black. That does help to absorb the heat from the sun, especially in the summer, and that does help for the microbes or the bacteria to become more active as it becomes warmer, and it does speed up the process of decomposition. I take the compost and I put it in the garden. I also use it as mulch around my landscape plants. Sometimes if I have more of a decorative mulch, I will remove that mulch and put the compost underneath that, and even try to work it in the soil and then put the mulch on top.
Whereas a typical composter generates a nutrient-rich product that's a plus. If you have a garden, it's a positive to be able to use that to fertilize or enrich your soil. But for this product, for us, for our family, we don't have a big need for compost. Well, the solar cone is a device that's intended to accept food waste from your typical household use, food scraps after dinner, things that most families maybe would put in the garbage disposal or in their trash can. So it's intended to take those out of the waste stream and return them to the ground through a process of kind of decomposition. So it's nice to be able to put your food waste in and let it do its thing, and that's kind of all you have to do, very simple.
And what it does is it actually takes food waste, any and all food waste, and it absorbs it completely into the surrounding soil. It digests it without creating any type of compost. So it's similar to a composter, but works in an entirely different manner. The nice thing about the green cone is that you can put any type of food in it. You can put even things that you would consider to be unacceptable in most composters, like meat, dairy, fried foods, prepared foods. Any type of food waste can go into the green cones. The green cone is great for a person who isn't a composting person. If they don't have the time to invest in composting, don't want to put that level of dedication in, they can still divert the food from the landfill by putting the food waste in the green cone. It's easy to use. They just have to put their food scraps in the cone and they can walk away.
Why not recycle your food scraps?